In an era where we pride ourselves on progress and enlightenment, the horrific death of 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson serves as a stark and infuriating reminder that barbaric acts of violence against women continue to plague our world.
Hold close to their heart.
She's on my mind the first thing I wake up in the morning. The first thought that's in my mind is her, Shanquella.
This isn't just a tragedy. It's an outrage that demands our immediate attention and action. In October 2022, what should have been a joyous vacation in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, turned into a nightmare that exposed the ugly underbelly of misogyny and betrayal lurking beneath the surface of seemingly normal friendships.
Graphic cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquella naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while others appeared to watch on.
The events that unfolded during Shanquella's ill-fated trip are nothing short of chilling. Within a mere 24 hours of arriving in paradise, this beautiful queen's life was brutally snuffed out.
The growing mystery surrounding the death of an American tourist.
Just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead.
The FBI has now opened an investigation.
The initial lies told by her so-called friends about alcohol poisoning quickly unraveled, revealing a truth so disturbing it's hard to fathom. How, in the 21st century, can a group of people watch and even encourage the vicious beating of someone they called a friend? The very thought is enough to make one's blood boil.
Even encourage it.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
This is the infuriating story of Shanquella Robinson. Salamandra Robinson, Shanquella's mother, recounted the heartbreaking last conversation with her daughter to ABC News.
A seaside escape with 6 others.
She was very excited about it. She called me and I said, well, okay, enjoy yourself, and I'll call you by the time I think you've gotten there. That Friday evening, she seemed very excited about the trip, and she said she was getting ready to eat some tacos. They had a chef there. And I said, okay, love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. And I never spoke with my child again.
The pain in these words is palpable, a stark reminder of how quickly life can be ripped away by senseless violence. What followed Shanquella's death was a disgusting display of deception that only compounds the tragedy. Her travel companions, people who were supposed to be her friends, continued their vacation as if nothing had happened. They even had the audacity to participate in funeral planning discussions, picking out clothes to wear while knowing full well the brutal truth of what transpired. This level of callousness is not just shocking, it's utterly reprehensible.
Shanquella needs justice.
The emergence of a video showing Shanquella's was a gut-wrenching revelation that laid bare the horrifying reality of her final moments. To see a defenseless woman being brutally attacked while others watch and even egg on the violence is enough to make one lose faith in humanity. On the afternoon of October 29, 2022, just one day after arriving in Cabo, Shanquella Robinson was admitted to a local hospital in dire condition. According to medical reports, she was alive when she arrived at the hospital, but in critical condition.
And I said, well, what's wrong with her? And he said, alcohol poisoning. I didn't know what alcohol poisoning was, But he said, the doctor is on the way. And I said, well, how you know alcohol poisoning if the doctor haven't arrived yet?
Dr. Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez, who attended to Shanquella, noted that she was dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally, and appeared to be inebriated. The doctor also observed that Shanquella had stable vital signs, but was suffering from seizures. Tragically, Shanquella's condition rapidly deteriorated. According to the Charlotte Observer, she experienced a cardiac arrest. The medical team attempted CPR for 14 minutes, but their efforts were in vain. Shanquella Robinson was pronounced dead at 5:57 p.m. on October 29, 2022, less than 24 hours after arriving in Mexico for what was supposed to be a celebratory vacation. The circumstances surrounding Shanquella's death immediately raised suspicions. The initial police report stated that the cause of death was severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, a dislocation of the uppermost vertebra. This stark contradiction to the claims of alcohol poisoning made by Shanquella's travel companions set off alarm bells for both her family and investigators. What followed was a web of conflicting statements that only deepened the mystery and outrage surrounding Shanquella's death. According to The Cut, one of the friends initially told Shanquella's mother that she had died from alcohol poisoning. However, this story quickly unraveled as more details emerged. Another friend reportedly claimed that Shanquella had fallen ill from food poisoning. These inconsistencies, coupled with the medical examiner's report of physical trauma, painted a disturbing picture of deception. Not just that, but Dr. Carolina said she immediately recommended the friends that they take Shanquella to a hospital, but they refused.
I said, well, why you can't take her to the hospital? Take her to the hospital. And he said, well, they say you have to have cash money. I said, well, she has insurance. And he said, well, she need about $5,000 to be seen in the emergency room.
And when Shanquella's so-called friend called Salamandra to tell her her daughter was gone, he showed zero emotion.
He said Shanquella had passed.
He said it just like that?
Just like that. He wasn't even emotional, upset or nothing about it. And I say, well, it was nothing I could do. It's just my heart just crumbled, because I couldn't even get to my child. She 2,000 miles away.
The investigation took a shocking turn when a disturbing video surfaced online, showing Shanquella being brutally beaten in what appeared to be their rental villa. This footage, which went viral on social media, directly contradicted all previous statements made by her travel companions.
Graphic cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquella naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while others appeared to watch on.
It showed Shanquella, naked and disoriented, being repeatedly punched and kicked by another woman, while at least one male voice could be heard encouraging the assault. This leaked video led to increased scrutiny of the 6 individuals who had accompanied Shanquella on the trip. Mexican authorities launched a femicide investigation, focusing on one of the female members of the group as the main suspect. However, the investigation was complicated by the fact that all 6 travel companions had already left Mexico and returned to the United States by the time the true nature of Shanquella's death was discovered.
From somebody, I didn't even know who it was. And they said that they was over there fighting that girl. And that's the way they left it, just like that.
So someone just called you, said that, and then hung up?
The conflicting accounts, the attempt to cover up the assault, and the group's sudden departure from Mexico all point to a disturbing conspiracy of silence among those who were supposed to be Shanquella's friends. Their actions not only delayed justice, but also compounded the pain and trauma experienced by Shanquella's family, who were left grappling with contradictory information about their daughter's final hours. This tangled web of lies and misdirection has made the pursuit of justice for Shanquella Robinson a complex and frustrating process. It highlights the critical importance of thorough investigation and international cooperation in cases of transnational crime, while also serving as a chilling reminder of how quickly a vacation with supposed friends can turn deadly. Shanquella Robinson was not just a statistic. She was a gorgeous, ambitious young woman with her whole life ahead of her.
I love this painting, the kindness, the loving person that she was. That's all I got is our memories and this photo.
At just 25, she had already established herself as a successful entrepreneur, running her own hair braiding business in Charlotte.
She always said she wanted to have a successful business. That's all she pretty much talked about, and she could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything that she said a man to do.
Her passion for travel and zest for life were evident in her adventures to places like Jamaica, Miami, and Las Vegas. The Mexico trip was supposed to be another exciting chapter in her life, not its tragic end.
I thank God for the 25 years that she were here with me, But I hate to see my child leave here like that, That was a terrible way for her to die.
Her father, Bernard Robinson, described her as,
she was a beautiful person on the outside, and she was a very beautiful person in the inside. She just had a beautiful spirit.
These words paint a picture of a young woman who brought light into the world, a light that was extinguished far too soon by an act of unthinkable violence.
What went through your mind when you heard that?
Oh, I just couldn't believe it. We just got sick on the stomach.
Perhaps one of the most maddening aspects of this case is the slow wheels of justice. Despite clear video evidence of the assault, no arrests had been made more than a year after Shanquella's death. This glacial pace of justice is an insult to Shanquella's memory and a stark reminder of how our systems often fail victims of gender-based violence.
All 6 of them had an opportunity to stop that situation. Neither one of them didn't do nothing about it. Who give them the right to take a life? They didn't give her no kind of care, no help. I can just feel her suffering, man. The last breath she took out of her body.
Justice for my child.
I pray for her family and I pray for justice.
Indeed, what kind of system allows such a clear-cut case of violence to go unpunished for so long? It's a damning indictment of our justice system and a call to action for all of us to demand better. The case of Shanquella Robinson isn't just a tragedy. It's a scathing indictment of the darker aspects of our society. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about friendship, violence, and the persistent scourge of misogyny. We must ask ourselves, how can we create a world where such betrayals are unthinkable, where violence against women is met with swift and severe consequences, where true friendship means protection and support, not betrayal and harm? We need to foster a culture where intervening in the face of violence is not just encouraged, but expected. The bystanders who watched and even cheered Shanquella's assault are just as culpable in her death. Their inaction is a damning reflection of a society that too often turns a blind eye to violence against women.
Demands for answers.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
Thousands of people across social media posting justice for Quilla and say her name, and hundreds attending her funeral in solidarity.
We must hammer home the message that honesty in the face of tragedy is non-negotiable. The web of lies spun by Shanquella's companions not only delayed justice, but compounded her family's pain. It's a stark reminder that covering up violence only perpetuates a culture of impunity.
Not me burying her, man. When she came through the funeral home, I stood over, man. And I told her, baby girl, you would not die in vain. Daddy will get to the bottom of it, man.
The classification of Shanquella's death as a potential femicide, a killing motivated by gender, should send shockwaves through our collective conscience. It's a grim reminder that despite decades of progress, the cancer of misogyny continues to metastasize in our society. We must redouble our efforts to challenge harmful attitudes that demean or objectify women. Every sexist joke, every instance of harassment ignored, every victim disbelieved contributes to a culture that enables horrific acts of violence, like what happened to Shanquella. For this FBI agent, femicide is the same as homicide. It's an innocent life lost at the hands of an evil perpetrator.
It's a homicide case. And it doesn't change what you investigate. It doesn't change what evidence you need to convict somebody.
Speaking of the FBI, neither them nor the Mexican police have done much so far to get justice for Shanquella, despite having a main person of interest.
Responsable de estos hechos a una amiga de ella, que es la agresora en este caso de la agresión directa. Porque realmente no fue riña, es una agresión directa que realizó.
But although there is an arrest warrant for this woman in Mexico, she is now in the States, and for some reason, no one is bringing her to a station for questioning there. Not only do the wheels of justice move slowly, but it seems like nobody cares about Shanquella.
The Mexican warrant is worthless here. No sworn officer or agent has the authority to arrest anybody on a warrant from another country. So it has to be vetted through probable cause and information that the Mexican authorities provide to convert it to a U.S. warrant strictly for the purpose of arresting a person.
At the moment, Mexican authorities are pushing for the killer's extradition. Shanquella's family is staying hopeful, but they might spend the rest of their lives fighting to get their beloved daughter some sense of justice.
Today marks exactly 1 year since the death of Charlotte woman Shanquella Robinson. Her family is still fighting for justice. Her story gained national attention after Robinson mysteriously died while vacationing with people she knew in Cabo. Well, her family and friends have been calling for justice by leading rallies across the country. Back in April of this year, federal authorities announced they would not seek charges in Robinson's death. U.S. officials say their investigation didn't find evidence to support federal prosecution. Still, the attorney for the family says they were told by the FBI and Interpol that the case isn't closed.
In the face of such senseless cruelty, our response must be a revolution of kindness. This isn't just about random acts of niceness. It's about fundamentally reshaping our society to value empathy, compassion, and mutual support above all else. We must commit to standing up for others, even when it's uncomfortable or risky. Being an ally isn't a badge to wear. It's a constant, active active choice to support and protect those who are vulnerable. We need to seek out diverse perspectives, broadening our worldviews and increasing our capacity for empathy. When we make mistakes, as we all inevitably will, we must apologize sincerely and make genuine amends. These aren't just feel-good platitudes. They're essential strategies for dismantling the cultural norms that allow violence to flourish. The death of Shanquella Robinson isn't just a tragedy. It's a screaming alarm bell that should jolt us all into action. It's an indictment of a society that still allows such barbaric acts to occur and a justice system that moves at a glacial pace even in the face of clear evidence. We cannot allow Shanquella's death to be in vain. We must channel our outrage, our grief, and our determination into creating lasting change.
What for you does justice look like for Shanquella?
For them to go back to Mexico and do their 20, 30, 40 years, whatever they give them. And they need to pay for what they did to her.
It's unlikely that this evil person will go back to Mexico. She knows she would be arrested the minute she would step there. But shouldn't the U.S. authorities do anything to bring her to justice? It's shocking that she is still living her life without worry or care, knowing she might never have to pay for taking an innocent life. And speaking of that, the savage attack on Shanquella Robinson by a so-called friend is as incomprehensible as it is horrific. Was it driven by a toxic cocktail of envy, jealousy, or sheer psychopathy? We may never know, but what's abundantly clear is the sheer evil of this act. It's a complete betrayal of friendship and human decency. A young woman's life snuffed out in the most brutal way by someone she trusted. This senseless violence is a stark reminder of the darkness that can hide behind friendly faces. Shanquella was kicked to death, while others watched and encouraged her deranged killer to hit harder. They even mocked Shanquella for not being able to fight back.
Appeared to watch on, even encourage it.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
It's an indictment of the misogyny and aggression that still poison our society. No one should ever suffer such a fate, especially at the hands of a friend. Shanquella's tragic death screams for justice and demands we confront the ugliness that allows such barbarity to exist in our world. Every one of us has a role to play in this fight. We must challenge misogyny wherever we encounter it, stand up against all forms of violence, and actively practice radical kindness and empathy. Bernard Robinson's heartbreaking words, "I just thought she would be burying me, not me burying her," should echo in our minds as a constant reminder of what's at stake.
My heart gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a while. But you know, I know God gonna give me strength to get through it.
Shanquella Robinson's life mattered, her dreams mattered, her future mattered. Let us honor her memory, not just with words, but with a tireless commitment to being the kind of true friends, allies, and human beings that she and all women deserve. The time for change is now. Anything less is an unforgivable failure. Hey, thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this tragic case? What should be done to bring Shanquella justice? Let me know in a comment, and before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you soon.